Hi there, so today I'm going to be showing you how I made this a lovely, pretty Aso Oke Zara cap with a snail shell rose. Don't you think the snail shell, it looks like a snail shell rose, and you can position it anywhere, the front, the back, the side. But before we get into that,
I would like to say a big thank you to all our subscribers, and for those just joining us, you are most welcome to the Ventcraft channel. We hope to say thank you in our next video because we are sure you would click that subscribe button. And everyone, please do ensure you like, comment, and share this video.
so you'll be needing your scissors, your needle and thread, matching thread, of course, your measurement tape, your tailor's chalk. Then you'll be needing your mako. Now this is, you can find it in a shoemaker's shop where they sell things to make shoes. So you'll be needing, this is 18 inches. That's what I used for the length. And the width, you're going to be making use of 2.8 inches, but you can make use of less depending on how high you want the cap to be, or even longer. All right, now this is the measurement of what we're going to use to make the snail shell rose. Now I actually measured 60 inches. That's what I used, but because I was making it for 3 people, I decided to make use of the whole they bought a full pack of the Aso Oke, so I decided to make use of it. So you'll see what I did finally because I added more. So stay tuned to the end so you know how to add when you have already started making the snail shell rose. Now for the base, you're going to have 26 inches by 6 inches. The width of this particular Aso Oke is 6 inches. Now you're not going to be joining it together to form less than because 6 times 3 is 18, to be less than, because you're going to be joining them together as in when you sew them. So of course some inches will go away. So you're going to be taking it to the tailor, or you're going to be taking it to your sewing machine, and you fold it like this and sew it. And you're going to be doing that to the third part as well, so it becomes one whole of 26 inches by, let's give it like 15 inches. Let's say, yeah, 3 inches went in sewing. All right, so that's what we're going to be doing. And then you're going to make sure that you fold the edges after you have sewn it together. You're going to fold the edges into two because Aso Oke frills, you don't want it getting loose at the edges. All right, so now see it's red there. Yep, it's joined together. Can you see how it's joined together? All right, and see the edges, how it is smooth and it would not fray anymore. So then you take your mako and you're going to be getting the midpoint of your mako, making use of your tailor's chalk. So that's what I'm doing. Fold it into two halves. Then you also fold the base of the cap into two halves too, so that you also get your midpoint. Now this ensures that the mako stays in the middle. So you're going to be placing it like so. Okay, so that gives us our midpoint there. And I'm going to be taking it to the tailor shop, or if you have a sewing machine, you take it to the sewing machine and you sew it down like that. Now we've got it. But can you see that you have the folded part over there? Nah, we don't want to see any sewing in the front side. Now this, because our Aso Oke is the one you join, is the pieces one. Now if you have a plain one, you won't need to do this part. You might, but you might not need regularly. All right, okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to be twisting the material. So ensure that when you're sewing that part, you give a little allowance so that it will enable you to be able to twist. Now what we're doing is we're taking that part that is sewn, we're moving it to the other side, to inside of the band, so that it's not seen, so that what you see, you don't see any sewing. Do you understand? When it's on the head, can you see what we're doing now? We're moving it like so. Yes, it's moving fast, but I understand. I know you would understand. You are my sharp crafters. All right, so see how it is now. We have moved it inside, so now we're going to be having a smooth finishing. Yes, it's gonna look smooth like this. Okay, so once you have this, the next thing you're going to do is to fold it like so on the back side. Of course, not the front side, because you don't want your sewing to show. And then we're going to be sewing it like this. Oh yes. Okay, so I'm sure you saw that allowance before. No, I removed it. So I wanted to put elastic band, it didn't follow through. So now I'm going to be doing running stitches all the way, like you saw my hand going. And ensure you make use of matching thread. You don't want your thread being seen. So now the first thing, make sure you sew it twice there so that it holds and it doesn't pull out and your design goes off. Now that won't happen to us. Okay, so now it's time to do your running stitches. Remember to curve it at the edges. It gives it, especially when you're making a turban, it gives it that lovely semi curve at the mouth. But well, this is Zara cap, so nah, it's not going to do that. So our Zara cap is coming into shape. Can you see how it is? It already looks great. Now I was saying probably one day I would try it with just 2 strips of Aso Oke to see how it turns, but for now I use 3 strips of Aso Oke to form this Zara cap. All right, so now I'm going to be folding those edges on top that makes it look as if it has some rabbit ears, so that it just goes down and it is flat, to make our Zara cap look hot and sizzling on our client's head. Now actually I got this order by a client and she needed 3 pieces, so this was 1 piece I recorded, so you see how I make the Zara cap and also the snail shell rose. Now remember that if that's what am I saying? Oh, sorry dears. Yes, the Ventcraft Academy is available for you, not only for you to attend classes, but also for you to learn from others, see designs and much more. You don't want to miss it. Check the description of this video and click on the Ventcraft Academy so you join us and groove and learn and create wealth. Okay, so our base Zara cap is ready. Now it's time for the design. Like we did for the Zara cap, you're going to be folding the edges. You can see it's already fraying. So, and the lovely thing about the Aso Oke is when you fold, it just takes, it bends. It's a very obedient material. It will just fold into place. But if you want to make use of iron, that's equally fine. So I fold it into 2 and I use my needle and thread and I sew. But at this moment you can actually also take it to your sewing machine and do a quick one. But if you don't have a sewing machine, I'm showing you what to do so you can get it done without a sewing machine. I hope you're gaining value so far from this video. If you are, please do give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, oh my sweetheart, you really do need to subscribe to this channel. You gain a lot. Okay, so now I'm knotting the thread was almost finished. Oh, how do you like it? How does it feel when you have just tiny thread? Sometimes it's like, oh, I could have made the thread longer. But anyway, that's that. So now it is time to make the snail shell rose. Now you want to get the edge of the material like so and fold it. Can you see? You take one edge. When you take one edge to the other part, it makes it to give that diagonal shape. It must give you this diagonal shape. Then you can fold the other side like so. And as you're folding, use your hand and smoothen it so the obedient Aso Oke will follow in line. So can you see what I'm doing? Yeah. Ensure, remember, from the tip to the other side, making a diagonal. So I'm going to hold it with my needle and thread there. I'm going to sew it first. So I'm going to be performing this process over and over, and at each point when you say that it needs to be sewn, you just kind of know it, that it's time to sew that part before you start folding again. Then you sew. Some people don't make use of pins to hold it and then later on they start sewing, but I feel, well, I guess the quicker way is to sew it immediately. But if you're not so sure of being able to get it, you might want to use pins so that you don't have to start loosening it along the way. I actually did initially, but later on I got it. So no, that was when I was doing the second person zone. The first one, oh, went very smooth. When I was doing second person zone, I don't know, the material started misbehaving. So, okay, I'm going to allow you to keep on watching how you fold and you sew. I'm going to leave it for long so that you get a hang of it. You know, when you keep on watching something over and over and over and over and over and over, okay, Nkechi, stop. You get a hang of it. So, just enjoy the music as you watch how you get this done. remember I told you I was making for three clients and I decided to make use of all the materials. Now, this was an excess that would go to all the three, and it's like about 15 yards. So 60 plus 15, that makes it 75. That finally was used. So all you just need to do, ensure you sew the edges as I did. Do you understand? That's in the width of each. Then you're going to join it like so. So I'm going to allow you to keep watching again and learning. Okay, so once that done, okay, I'm showing you again. This is how you join it. It shows it perfectly well, the joining. Do you understand? On this part, you can see how I'm joining the two of them together. All right, so once you're done with all the joining, but remember, if you didn't need to add any material, this is just in case you needed to add the material. Just let me assume that the shell, your snail shell, wasn't as big as you wanted to, and you decided to add a material. I've got you covered already. Won't you give me a thumbs up for covering that? I believe I deserve one. ah, I think I'm in kind of a happy mood today. Is it because something is coming up soon? Do you know what is coming up soon? It might be. Yeah, I guess. All right, anyway, so I'm not in the thread to continue making our snail shell rolls that we're going to be fixing to the Zara cap. And I think it really gave the Zara cap a lovely tush look. And did you notice that you can place the snail shell rolls in different directions? That's because you're going to be sewing this to the part that joins, so you're not going to see it. So you can, when the person wears it, the person can decide where they want to fit it in. Actually, when I delivered to the client said that please I should deliver. So anyway, I delivered to the client, and when I got there, so we're checking the position, and finally we realized that for her, the side fitted her perfectly well. So really, this design is really a lovely design, in that depending on the face of your client, they can fix it either on the side, at the back, and at the front. So it's, I think, a great design, really great design, really. Okay, so once you are done with that, ensure you fold in the other edge. That's the last part. You fold in the part that was folded. There's a way you fold it so that it looks neat. So that's what I'm doing. Okay. Now it is time to do the last part of the snail shell roll. So what you do, you take the tip. Can you see how I'm taking the tip, and you begin to roll it? Then as you roll to a certain extent, you will take your needle and thread, and then you sew it together. Just watch me carefully. You will surely get the hang of it. And ensure that as you're rolling it firm and tight. And also that you're folding can you see the zigzag part? You're folding the zigzag part. Also, the other part at the other edge, you're going to be pressing it together so that it goes round. Just watch my hand carefully. You'll be able to understand what I'm doing. So you sew a part, then you turn it round. See, you grab the other part. As you're grabbing it, you're folding. Can you see what I'm doing? Folding the loose part on both edges like that. You have to really take your time. Don't be fast. Just take your time, and you're going to get it perfectly well. So keep on watching. and learning. And now it's time to join the snail shell rows to our Zara cap. Now ensure when sewing you sew it all the way around. You know, there's the main shell part in the middle. You want it go sewn all the way around on the Zara cap so that it sits firmly. You're not having your snail shell waving to the people behind the client's head. No, it is sticking firmly and well. So I guess you just watch it so you see how I go around all the way. Remember, at the back side you want to, what I did was I was slanting the needle in both sides so you can't see the thread both in front and behind. So keep on watching and learning. And that's how I made this a lovely Zara cap. If you love it, do give me a thumbs up and do subscribe if you haven't. Click the bell for notifications so you don't miss any other video and check out this next Zara cap design.